So in the summer of 2020, I started playing Ghost of Tsushima, which is around when it came out. I believe it came out in July of 2020, and I stopped playing it. I don't know, and I cannot remember for the life of me, what game came after that took me away from Ghost of Tsushima. And the only game that I can find in this long list of games that came out in 2020 was Fall Guys. I find it very hard to believe that a game like Fall Guys could pull me away from Ghost of Tsushima. But at the same time, it was 2020. I was yearning for any human connection possible. I was just, it was 2020. And I would not doubt that Fall Guys was the game that took my attention away from Ghost of Tsushima and didn't pick it up again. I picked it up again because Ghost of Yotei was coming out. I just wanted to play that game just so I could naturally transition into Ghost of Yotei because it was just sitting in my backlog for like years, clearly, for 5 years, for a little over 5 years. And while I did enjoy it, I did think it was a good game, I could not help but feel a little underwhelmed by it. Now, comparatively, when I play Ghost of Yotei, it can be seen as like underwhelming, but I'll get to that a little bit later. Also, I'll talk about Ghost of Yotei in a different video. I'm probably not going to talk too much about that in here, but it wasn't a bad game. There wasn't a point that I didn't really enjoy it. There's a lot of really good things about it, but I do think that the reason why I didn't enjoy it was because of how much I have grown as a gamer in the 5 years since it released. If I had played it all the way through back then, I probably would have eaten it up. Back then, I pretty much played just open world games, open world things that took too much time out of my day to complete. And it's not that I didn't enjoy the occasional short game. My breadth of video game taste just wasn't expanded. Let's just say that. I didn't play a whole ton of different games. I played the same type of games. I mean, I'm the person that played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Sorry if you heard me tap my chest there. I'm the person who played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, did close to everything in that game, and spent about 200 hours in there. I think a little over 200 hours. It was just too much time. Ghost of Tsushima definitely was not a 200-hour experience. It's definitely like a 40 to 60-hour experience. And okay, let's just talk about, I just want to talk about, this is already a word salad video. Let me just get back on track and talk about the good things that I liked. Obviously, I liked the setting. Everything was very beautiful. Everything looked gorgeous. This game is eye candy, and I'm sure has been so good to people who love to do in-game photography. I was a big fan of how it was a collect-a-thon, but with purpose. A lot of the things that you do in the game give your character some oomph. They level up your character to be so much better. Everything that you do is not without purpose. I also was a big fan of the combat style. It did take me a while to get used to it because it's not like a regular, I feel like, third-person game. I feel like when I think of a quintessential third-person game, I'm thinking about like a Grand Theft Auto or a Red Dead Redemption, where you don't really have fighting styles or, styles of combat. It's pretty much just like a point-and-shoot experience. Whereas this one, they give you a lot of fighting styles and different ways to kind of tackle whatever enemy base that you're going into. The story is very good, and it does ask, I feel like, a very important question that I feel like kind of comes up in everybody's life at least once in one way or another. How much of that moral code should you adhere to if it results in like a good thing? at the end. Your character breaks a lot of moral codes. Your character, breaks a lot of, I shouldn't say moral codes, but breaks a lot of samurai code. Your character breaks a lot of samurai code to achieve this one purpose, and that is to save the island that you live on from the Mongols. And then in the process, you're kind of, stooping down to a level that the enemy is clearly at, but you're doing it for a good reason. And there's a part of me that wishes that while you do a lot of stuff in this game, I do wish sometimes that there was kind of like a system similar to like a Fallout 3, but much, much better. For everything that's kind of seen as, immoral or whatever, it kind of slides your character from one end to the other, and maybe that like impacts the ending. I do think that the ending was very impactful, but this kind of goes into how much I've grown as a character. Jesus. Grown as a person and grown as a gamer. I do feel like too many games do this thing where they give you a choice, quote unquote, and they give you a choice to approach this game in however which way you want. And at the end, where it would make sense for the game to be like, you made your choices, this is what happens. Instead, they give you the choice at the end. And I really wish they kind of leaned into that so much more. If you don't know, or you just really skipped past the spoiler alert at the beginning, or if you don't care, at the end you fight your uncle. The uncle is kind of who you have this like kind of struggle with throughout the game on how you should be acting. You should be sticking to the samurai code versus acting like a ninja and doing things that are a little more underhanded. And you have this choice to kill him or to spare him. That would have been the perfect opportunity to be like, well, a lot of the actions that you did were very ninja, so maybe you would kill your uncle, or maybe some other ending would happen. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people get really afraid of telling a story. I just wish that it ended differently in that way. Progression is also something that I think your character changes over time. And while it does make sense for the story to be fairly super slow at the beginning, another thing that I have grown to dislike is that sometimes games have a big case of who cares at the beginning of the game. I'll go back to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It took me 8 hours. You're on Tutorial Island forever during Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because they do this weird thing where they open up the world for you to explore, but oh no, you can't get certain items because you haven't gotten this specific bow, or you haven't acquired this specific ability, or you haven't triggered this quest line, and it doesn't make sense because why would you open this pit up if you are not allowed to jump in the pit?
I finna be in the pit.
Don't tell me to go in the pit if I could only stand on the edge. Don't give me the option if you're also gonna pull away the option. And while Ghost of Tsushima doesn't necessarily do that, I feel like they're very successful at opening up the world when it makes sense. I do feel like that beginning section and certain sections of the game could be a lot faster. And again, these are the things that I am talking about right now are things that they have since kind of fixed with Ghost of Yotei. I feel like Ghost of Yotei took everything that I thought in my brain, oh, this kind of sucked. This was not good. This was not well thought out. And then just handed me another fresh game and we're here you go. These are all the things that you had beef with. We have fixed him. You will have more fun now. And I don't know. I also have to keep in mind when I'm talking about this stuff, and also let you know if you don't know anything about these games, that this was the first entry of a new IP. Usually first entries of a new IP are not great. I mean, they're good, right? They're good. They have to be good. When you move on to the second one should be better in every way possible. We see that with a ton of IPs. I expect, the next Cyberpunk to be even better. Cyberpunk was already pretty good, it just wasn't finished. So I expect Cyberpunk 2 to be finished when it comes out. Just to kind of go back to me growing as a gamer, these things that I struggled with are not necessarily a result of a game being outdated or the game not being good or not delivering on what it's promised. It's just that I dove into so many genres at this point that I didn't think I would ever enjoy, or thought that, yeah, this is not for me. Now that I have all this knowledge in my head and all this like experience under my belt, it shows. It shows in the way I was thinking about Ghost of Tsushima, and like the way that I was interacting with it. Like the way that I interact with games are just like so different now. And that, I don't know, this was a game that made me realize that, like how much I've grown since 2020. I mean, I was a person, like if you recommended me a rogue-like game or a roguelite or like whatever, a bullet hell in 2020, I would have told you, no, I don't want to play that. But if you recommended something like that to me now, I would give it a shot. I don't know, it just, like, I'm happy that I've made this much progress. I'm happy that I am thinking about games in a very different way than I used to, and I'm very happy with where my tastes have taken me, where recommendations have taken me. But it also like makes me a little sad, because now when I play older games, I'm like, what the f is this? What the f was this bullshit? Not unfairly. Like, I still very much loved Ghost of Tsushima. I'm loving my experience in Ghost of Yotei. I'm playing an old game now on Steam. It came out in 2010, and I'm enjoying myself. But I just think it's really interesting how sometimes it takes a 5-year-old game to make you realize, oh, I have grown as a person. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know this wasn't like a review of sorts, but I kind of want these games that I play not on stream because they're just like way too long, or I just want to experience them by myself. I kind of want to do like these shorter diary entries about them and my thoughts and my feelings. Hopefully this all made sense. It made sense in my brain. I hope it made sense in yours. If you want to follow me on any social medias, I'm available on Bluesky, YouTube, and Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you in whatever next video that comes out. Bye.